Hey guys, today I'm going to be teaching y'all how to tie the olive woolly bugger. I like to start with a size 6 to 10 hook and a pretty heavy bead, really depends on the water you're fishing, and some lead wire. The bugger is a super versatile fly, great for trout, bass, panfish, really anything. Caught all kinds of fish on it. Anyways, so I like to start with lead wire, and really just for weight and bulk on the body, and I'll take 10 to 20 wraps or so. And it's really versatile. It's just the bugger's a super customizable fly. You can do what your preference is. And then I like to cinch it up towards the top all the way to the bead. And I believe for this fly I was using brown thread, but you can really just use whatever you want. And I like to cover a little bit of the wire, and then go back down almost all the way to the end of the hook shank, just to make sure that wire's really in there and doesn't move before I cut the excess off. So next, for the tail, I used olive marabou, and I just used one feather, but you can use two if you want to bushy your tail. What I really like to do, and it's a super easy trick, is keep a cup of water next to me and get the marabou wet, and it just makes it so much easier to tie it in and really see how long it's going to be. I like to make them, in general, about as long as the hook. You can make it shorter or longer, but I'd recommend it not making it too much longer, because I've had buggers with longer tails where the fish will actually see the movement in the tail, the action, and just hit the tail and not end up getting hooked. I've had it happen a countless number of times, and it's just really annoying, so I like to keep it somewhat short. So next, I put some copper wire in. Yeah, you can do whatever color you want. I just like the way copper looks personally, and I've had good luck with it. And that's going to end up going around the body. I just tie that in on top of the marabou. And I normally tie the copper wire in to where it butts up against the back of the lead wire, just to make the body somewhat even, although it really doesn't matter, honestly. So next I'll take Chanel, and I like to barely strip off the end, as you can see. Makes it easier to tie in where there's a little bit of string here. And I'll just tie that in right on top of where I've been tying everything else in, or honestly down a little bit. And then I'll advance my thread all the way to the front of the fly. And then what I do from here is you just take the Chanel and wrap it around the body. I like to get pretty tight wraps. Try not to get too much marabou stuck, although it looks like I did in this fly. I tied this really quick for the video, but it's kind of messy, but still the exact same principle when I'm tying them to look a little bit better than I did in this video. And then I like to give that a couple wraps at the front to tie it down there. And what I like to do is hold the Chanel up and then cinch it down in front and behind. And then I'll clip that off. As you can tell, it's not too pretty right now, but when I'm making them just for myself, I like to do a little bit better job than that. So next, I took a yellow and black dyed hackle. You can do brown, really any shades. I try to somewhat match the color of the bugger to the color of the hackle. I normally don't do white with like brown or anything, but yeah. And then I just take the hackle. You really can't make a woolly bugger too bushy. I like to make it pretty good. And you take it and bring it to the back of the chenille there. And then the easiest way to make it look good and tie it down correctly, you can use hackle pliers. I actually didn't know where mine were, but I like to hold the hackle there and just take the wire, the copper wire that you tied in earlier, and just slowly wiggle it as I advance it up the shank of the hook there. And that's going to get, not so many hackle fibers trapped under it, but it's still going to tie them down just fine. As you can see, I'm just wiggling all the way up, and you can do as many wraps of wire as you'd like, just really based on what you like it to look like. And so once you get to the front here, I like to just tie it down right behind the bead. And this part can be kind of tricky, but you really don't need too many ties, especially if you just want to put a little bit of head cement on right after, just to keep the wire down. I was rushing in this video and it looks pretty bad, but as you can see, in a sec I'll show you a trick to make it not look so bad. So after clipping the wire, basically the whole bugger is finished, and I like to tie off, but there's still one more thing that I like to do. So whip finish at the front, but the next thing I like to do is, once I'm done, is take water just from the cup, that I wet the chenille in, take a bunch of it, get all that hackle wet. Can't be too generous. Just get it real wet. And what I like to do is I'll take a straw with a little slit in it, and I put that over the front of the bugger, and the slit there is going to go over the hook onto the bugger here, and then wetting it will get that good slick back look that I like to have.